Foundation of all law. So law, the foundation of law, if you understand where this comes from, law as we understand on earth. Okay, so we're talking about laws that are invented by people, right? Most laws are invented just so that that way they can create a business or be profitable or maintain some kind of profits. That's the only reason laws are really created. It's why you create the war on drugs, is to give it fake profits, because it wouldn't have any other profits otherwise. So you create a bunch of laws to make something illegal, and that brings the price up. That's why you do stuff like this. And this is pretty much all laws universally. Okay, so when you remove those laws, you start removing all kinds of profits, and then people actually have to work for a living. They have to like do shit, and no one's gonna. They have to have communities and build houses and all that, and they're not going to want to do something like that. So it's easier just to use laws and create a bunch of fake money. That's just how this kind of thing works. So a good example that I use for laws that are invented out of nothing, and a lot of it goes back into old religion, because a lot of times law and religion were the same thing back in the day. So the example I use is that of the pig farmer. Okay, so it's a long time ago. It's biblical time, and you're having a great time as a goat herder and a shepherd of sheep. Okay, so you've got sheep and you've got mutton, or you've got mutton and you've got goat meat, and that's what your economy is kind of based on. Your economy. You're the guy who's doing all this stuff, and your economy is based on this. And then all of a sudden, a pig herder or a pig farmer shows up and says, "Look at this! I have all this really inexpensive meat. Pigs produce 3 times faster, and they're omnivores, so they can eat a bunch of different things, and they create meat at a much lower price, right?" And well, if you're a sheep herder and a goat herder, you don't want that, because then now it's going to bring your prices down. Now you have to compete with bacon, and who wants to compete with bacon? Bacon's a gateway meat. That's what turns vegans, into meat eaters, is bacon typically. So you then what do? They run to whoever creates laws at the time. Back in the day, it was religion. They say, "Quick, make it a sin. You better find somewhere in your ancient text. You better find shit somewhere in your text about how God said don't eat pig, because if you don't find something like that, we're out of fucking business. And if we're out of business, if we go down, we're taking you with us." And that's exactly what they tell these priests and minister, or not minister, I guess imams and rabbis. They tell these guys this stuff, right? And these guys go "Yeah, we better find something. We better. Let's go. I'm sure somewhere in the ancient texts, God says don't eat pig, even though it doesn't say it anywhere in the ancient text. But we'll find something. We'll come up with something, and that's where this shit comes from. That's the foundation. That's what I just described to you. Is exactly why all the shitloads of laws you see now, all of this bullshit that you're seeing right now. That's where it comes from. That's the beginning of the whole idea, is that, we're losing money. Quick, make some kind of a law. You better find some way to make it a law that we don't lose any more money. That's how it all comes from. That's where all this shit comes from.